Hey guys, it is a Monday evening, going for the evening walk after eating. Oh, Seng made some pork patties out of some of that meat with onions and spices. Oh my God, those are good. Then of course rice and a soup for the vegetables. Oh man, it was an amazing meal. Just waiting to cross the street, as you can see. I wanted to answer a question. If you remember Tiffany from my video yesterday, she is the one I bought some household items from. I mentioned that she is moving to Vietnam, and so at the end of the month, she is trying to sell some bigger items, including an almost full-size refrigerator. I got that mini one. It's definitely twice as big as the mini one. Not quite full size like you would think back in the West, but it's pretty nice, pretty big. She's got a couple shelving units, I believe, and also her motorbike that she was on. She wants me to at least think about buying her motorcycle. It's legal, it's registered, it's got a plate, all that good stuff. The regulations over here for owning one are fairly straightforward and easy. If it's 125 cc's or below, you don't even need a driver's license, and that includes if you're a foreigner. So which would explain actually a lot of the driving situations around here. You don't need a license, you don't have to take a test, you get it registered in your name, just start driving it around. I hesitate though. I am considering it if I can get a good deal, but I'm hesitant because I don't think I've ever told you guys this anyway, but I've never driven anything like that. I've never driven a scooter, a Moto, except for a bicycle. Everything I've ever owned or driven that had a motor has had walls around the wheels, like a car or a truck. I've never driven or ridden a motorcycle before. So basically I just don't know how. I asked her if it was an automatic, because that would make things a lot easier for me. She said it was semi-automatic. I think she was thinking about a rifle, because a rifle can be semi-automatic. I don't know if a motorcycle can, but she did also say that she would take the time, if I purchase it, to take me around in the back of a building that has a big dirt lot and teach me the ins and outs of driving. So like I said, it is something I'm considering. Not quite sure if I'm ready, but then again, you know, I see 10-year-old kids driving around on scooters all the time with their, you know, 2-year-old sister in the back hanging out for dear life in shorts and flip-flops with no helmets. So I guess if I really want to get the whole experience, I should probably think about that at some point anyway. Of course, I will be buying a helmet for myself and Seng. I'm not not that crazy. But basically I would just have to register it in my name and good to go. Start driving. There are pros and cons, of course. The pros, when I start work, this is gonna be a great form of transportation to get back and forth to school. It also opens up the areas I can go to apply for schools, because of course if they're too far away and it would cost me $4 each way for a tuk-tuk, that's $8 a day. That takes away a big chunk of my money. So this would really open up that. Of course, I can explore more. I can go to some of the outer lying areas, which is always a good thing. The negatives are I could die. Could get hurt. So yeah, there are some cons involved. But just like moving here, I will weigh both the pros and the cons studiously before I make my final decision. Of course, a big factor will have to be, you know, how much is she going to charge me. Sometimes, even if you're leaning against it, if the price is right, one of those things you can't pass up because it's a good deal, you know, I might go ahead and do that. So I'm not against motos or motorbikes, but like I said, I do like walking very much. However, as I said, for work, it would improve my life considerably. That's what I was talking about in my last video, where I was going to tell you guys if I was going to buy something from her or not. But my buddy Ricky, he brought it up in a comment, and I told him I had to address it in this video because he just wanted to know, why wouldn't you? And I'm sure that's coming from someone who has rode motorcycles, probably have a lot more experience than me. It's like anything else, I guess. You try new, you're unsure, you don't want to look like an idiot, and worst of all, you don't want to crash and all that good stuff. But like most things in life, sometimes you got to put on your big boy pants and just get out there and do it. You learn by doing. Didn't learn to ride a bicycle without falling over a few times. So we shall see. Anyway, we're downtown. Decided to wait till a little bit after dark, simply because it went from a very, very hot, sizzling 94 Fahrenheit, but right now it's down to a very nice and cool 92 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's like a spring evening, sort of. All right, guys. She's gonna stop here, talk to her friend. We're going to this little shop right here, Sweet Tooth. I'll talk to you guys later. It is now Tuesday morning. Those fireworks from before, I don't know how well you can see them. They just started going off. But I was told by a tuk-tuk guy that those are from a celebration that the pagoda was having, and they are right in that area. Stop. No, thank you. But they were right in that area, and they were having some kind of celebration. And that's what all the fireworks were about. I don't think a lot of people knew that that was happening, because when the first one went off, you just heard a loud boom and people started screaming. They didn't know what was going on. Well, that's all it was. Some kind of pagoda celebration. Gonna try to get across this traffic right now. One thing I want to say about the schools around here is you do want to be careful when you go to get a teaching job, what school you go to. Do a little bit of research. Most of them are pretty legitimate. You know, they don't want any, it's a business, and they don't want any bad feelings. But there are some schools that, well, people will tell you stories about not getting paid or getting paid late all the time. And when you're on a budget, that's really not helpful. When you start working, you don't get paid till after your first full month. So if you've already worked a month and then they tell you you have to wait for your pay for whatever reason that has nothing to do with you, it can be frustrating. I have a friend, she's kind of going through that situation right now. She doesn't want to leave because she loves the kids, she loves the teaching, they're learning. But you know, they keep messing around with her pay and work permit. So it's kind of a frustrating situation. Of course, like I said, there's about 200 schools here in Siem Reap, different parts, different areas. If you look up schools in Siem Reap, you're going to find the same names come up all the time. There's like 5 or 6 main ones, like major international schools that generally have a really good reputation, which is great. And if you can get in there, that is great, because you kind of know what you're getting into. But of course, because they're so well known, they won't necessarily have openings all the time. So that's why I'm going to go to some of the smaller schools in the outlying areas after I hit up all the other big ones. But just if you're coming over here to teach, you know, before you sign a contract, make sure you're getting what you want. Make sure you know what they are going to give you or do for you. And it's really easy to get a feel for some of these schools, because you can just ask other teachers in the area. Some teachers that have been here a long time, and they've been teaching here a long time, and they'll tell you about schools that might be a little shadier than others. You can avoid those if you want. But still, it is a nice day today compared to yesterday. It was a fireball yesterday. But today is a little better. Just got back from sitting down by the river for a while. I already took care of my other stuff this morning, early this morning. There's a nice breeze coming off the river. Felt good. I do have to go to the bank at some point and break $100 bill so I can have money for a tuk-tuk for tomorrow. The schools I'm going to hit tomorrow. And hopefully in a couple weeks, I'll be a working man once again. I'll still be doing my thing here, of course. After work, get out, go for walks. I probably won't bring my camera to film much at the school, whichever one I'm going to be at. I'll have to ease into that, I think, because it's probably not something that they want for some stranger to just come in and shoving a camera in front of the kids' faces and all that stuff. So, but of course, I'll be letting you know exactly how my days go and all the good stuff that happens. One thing I can tell you today is that we were walking around downtown and I wasn't paying attention, and I stepped over. It was just like a little rope on the ground. I didn't really pay attention to it. I just stepped over it, and as soon as I took 2 steps, I realized there was wet cement. So now my flip-flop footprints are going to be forever embedded in Siem Reap, Cambodia, in that cement. Oh, that was embarrassing. Because I saw the rope but didn't even look beyond the rope. I just stepped over it. Slop, slop, slop. I should have just dropped down and put my handprints in it too while I was at it, but I didn't think about it at the time. Other than that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to add. This could be a very short, kind of boring video, but you know, something exciting doesn't happen every single day. But I think right now we're just gonna head home. I just bought some my big purchase today was 500 a reel, which is like 12 cents. But just a box of paper clips. I bought those because I have a lot of copies of all my paperwork I need for schools. Got like 40 copies of my cover letter, 40 copies of my resume, 40 copies of my certificate, 40 copies of my transcripts. But when I go to apply, I got them all in this bag, and I take them out of the bag, and I'm leaping through trying to find one copy of each. But so I decided to buy some paper clips and go home and arrange my files in order, one copy of each. Paper clip them together and then put them in the bag. That way I can just reach in without having to go through all the other stuff. And you know, that's a sign where I should probably end a video when I'm talking about the price of paper clips. I don't even think I could tell a story that would make that exciting. So it's kind of short, kind of sweet, at least for me. Talk to you guys in the next one.
Bang ra dư muối mi mình trái mà tôi không trồng thọt cho ta muối chọc nó tao như đâm mình mi thọt cho chơi thật nè hộp không phơi muối hello hello teacher Đừng tay chặt khắp